Okay, we're back with the Shore Show, and on the phone with us is the business administrator from the fine borough of Seaside Heights, my buddy John Cameron. John, you with us?
Pat, I'm here and going to be getting into a quieter place in 1 second. I'm outside, but thank you so much for the call. And yep, I'm with you.
I don't associate winter and snow with Seaside Heights. You get hit with a lot down there?
We're all clear now. We had a lot for Seaside Heights. It made it challenging, but we did well, and we still, I think, even this year got less than like the mainland. So we're all. It wasn't that big an issue. The kids loved it. Our public works guys liked getting the overtime, and it wasn't that bad.
Oh, we got beaten up here. We're about to get beaten up again. At least we got salt now. We didn't have salt before.
Right.
But you had a polar bear plunge down there.
It was insane. I mean, it was mobbed for that event. Again, not to blow smoke, but we like it for Seaside Heights, for our borough, and the commerce that comes from it. But it was really, really rewarding to find out that they raised, I think it was around $1.5 million, but like the most that's ever been raised that I'm aware of at a polar bear plunge, and it's for Special Olympics. So it's such a good cause, but they caught a beautiful day, and the town was just packed. So it was great.
Did you jump in the water, John?
I did not. I've done that once about 3 or 4 years ago, and I got lucky too. I also caught like a February 40 or 50 degree day, but once was enough for me, so I didn't do it this year.
Well, let's talk about the boardwalk. When I opened the show, I was down here a few weeks ago. I got some pictures. They're seeing that on the screen behind us, and maybe we're split screening it. It looks like you pretty much have the boardwalk back together. Tell me what's going on physically with the boardwalk.
Yeah, it was an interesting mix. All the publicly owned portion of the Seaside Heights boardwalk that was damaged in the fire has been rebuilt. Well, 90% rebuilt. There's a little bit of finishing stuff to do at the end, but that boardwalk's all back together. People can walk the full length or ride their bikes and frequent the businesses along the full length of our publicly owned boardwalk. But the very most southern block of Seaside Heights that leads you into Seaside Park, which goes from DuPont Avenue, which is where like the Beachcomber is, from DuPont to Porter Avenue. That block of boardwalk is privately owned, and so far that's still just all sand. But the public portion has been completely rebuilt, and we recently got some good news on the private portion.
Well, that's the footage I think they're seeing behind me now, the stills where you just drilled in and you just put in some new pylons right past the Beachcomber.
Yep.
And
We've got our, yep, I forget the exact number, but several pilings had to be put in where the boardwalk had to be rebuilt both there and at Lincoln Avenue, which was the final place where they tore up the boardwalk to, be able to stop the fire. Yeah. But that's been all repaired, and it was interesting when people were first like, oh my goodness, are you going to be able to get rebuilt for this season? As far as the public portion goes, it's too bad that we have this as our past experience, but compared to what we had to do in February, March, and April of 2013 because of Sandy, this was a very minor repair and easy for us.
Well, this was a day at the beach fixing the brakes that you had that you cut into the boardwalk to stop the fire. And again, people, there was a huge inferno down there at Seaside Heights. We're showing some pictures behind me now. We show where the break was, and then you see the ground. The boardwalk is repaired. What is the status with Seaside Park? There's no boardwalk.
Yep, and as I said, there's a privately owned section in Seaside Heights that goes for 1 block from DuPont to Porter. But then once you hit Porter Avenue and keep going south, there's 2 more blocks of privately owned land, which is in Seaside Park. So we've been meeting both the officials from the Heights and the park with the landowners in the Heights and the park. And the status right now looks good for this summer. The owners in Seaside Heights for that block are going to rebuild their boardwalk on their own. The borough never had any easement through there, and it's all privately owned. They're going to rebuild it, and they're going to rebuild it, they just told us, at the same width as our boardwalk. That section used to get like choked down, and it went from a 70-foot wide boardwalk down to only 20 feet.